All right, so this is the game Merchants of Amsterdam. What you're going to get in the game is the player board. You're going to get this pawn that moves around this outer track of the board. You're going to get an auction timer, a set of cards for bidding, some loan tokens, these 3 markers for how the bidding works. You're going to get a bunch of player tokens in 5 different colors. You're going to get a bunch of player money, which I will be substituting these poker chips for. And there's not a dice in the game, but I'm just going to use a die to demonstrate the auctions. So on the board, you are going to take 3 of your color tokens and place them in the appropriate spot. So if you're player 1, you'll put 1 here on that spot. If you're player 1, you'll put 1 down here on this track. And if you're player 1, you're going to put 1 in one of these countries over here in the far east on this spot there. So I would put 1 token there, 1 token here, and 1 token here. And the rest of the players are going to do this. All right, so here I have all the 5 player tokens set up in Amsterdam. I have them set up on the world map, and I have them set up on this market. So this is a game about majorities, and there's going to be different scoring opportunities which are going to occur on the track when you get to these things that look like this. And you're going to score different regions. The sailboat is a scoring region. This symbol up here is a scoring region, and this symbol here is a scoring region. So whenever you get to the sailboat, you're going to score majorities for the goods track. Whenever you get to the symbol up here, you're going to score majorities for the city of Amsterdam. And whenever you get to the world symbol, you're going to score majorities in the different regions here. So the way you get majorities is through these cards, and you're going to get 3 draws. So if you've ever played Biblios, it's similar to that. And what you're going to do is you're going to draw 1 card at a time, and you're going to decide, all right, am I going to take this card? I'm going to put it on this spot, meaning I get that card. Or am I going to put it on this spot, meaning it goes up for auction? Or am I going to put it on this spot, which means it goes into the trash and nobody's going to get it? And you're going to make this decision 3 times, looking at 1 card at a time. So when I pick the first card, wherever I place it, I can't ever switch it with the second card I draw or the third card I draw. So you're at the randomness of the cards in that sense. When you use the auction, you would use this timer and you would set it, and it would just do a countdown. And then the first person who stops the timer will pay whatever the value is on here that the timer is at. And they will pay that amount of money for the card, and then they'll get to do what the card allows them to do. If it ever lands in between 2 numbers on the line, you pay the higher amount, and there's rules for things if you stop it before it even gets to the 200. This is in hundreds of thousands, so this is $140,000, not $140. Each player starts with $400,000, and that's indicated on the spot here. Under the banners, some spots say an action happens. So here at the start of the game, everyone gets $400,000. Nothing happens here. Here there's going to be a market action. Nothing happens here. Here there is a, a world action, placing in colonies. So for example, let's just say player 1, we're going to use the yellow player, and so he's going to draw a card. So he takes a card and he looks at it, and so he goes, okay, this card will allow me to place 1 of my tokens in this far right district of Amsterdam, and I can place it on any spot and obtain 1 of any of the 4 options of good resources, meaning I can increase where I'm already at by 1, or I can add 1 of my tokens to another track to do that. And for the scoring, the majority scoring things that happen, first and second place are the ones that pay out per track, per region, per section of the city. Third and fourth place do not pay out. So I am currently in the silk track, and I actually happen to currently be in this section. And when you score the cities, It's the majority of tokens you have grouped together. So I'm going to want to group around my yellow token. Additionally, if you ever are able to place a token next to a bridge and then place another token across the bridge, you're going to get a bonus of, I think it's $40,000. You're also going to get a bonus if you have reached all of the second level of the tracks here, and there's 2 other bonuses you can obtain. So this helps me get majority here. I can increase any track I want, and it could put me closer to here. So I kind of want this card. So I'm going to say I'll take that one. Then I'm going to draw the next card. All right, this card will let me place influence in any region on the map. But when I do that, I have to place it on one of these cloth sections. So in region Africa, all right, there are only 2 cloth sections. In the Americas, there's only 1 cloth section. In the Far East, there is 5 cloth sections. And down here in the East Indies, there is 1 cloth section. So if you're going to get cloth, you would have to decide, do you want to corner the market in somewhere where it's rare, like up in the Americas, or do you want to build your cloth empire down here? And when you place on the good, if I were to place on any of the cloth symbols, I also get to increase my cloth track by 1. So that means whoever gets this card would get to join me on the cloth track and be competition for me. Now I could go, all right, well, I'm going to increase my cloth here, so if somebody does this, it's not going to matter. But maybe I don't want anyone to join me on the track here, so I'm going to throw this one in the trash can. Then I'll take the third one, and there's no option. This goes into the bidding, and so people are going to bid to place a token anywhere in the left region of Amsterdam, and once they do that, they can increase on any track that they want. So that's going to go in the auction. So what happens is, this card is trash, so that's out of the game. I execute this action, so I could place one of my tokens anywhere on this region of Amsterdam. I am going to place it over here, all right, because I don't want blue to come up here, so I'm going to try and get over to this section there. So, and then I get to increase on any one track I want. I can either add a token here or increase on the one I'm the majority on. I'll increase on the one I am the majority on right now. Also the way if there's ties, it breaks. 1 is the advantage, 2 is the second advantage, 3 is the third. So I'm getting an advantage in the least valued track. So I mean, it could maybe be a better move for me to join up here, but I'm just going to try and seal my majority down here for now. All right, so I've done that one, and then this goes up for auction. So that's where I would use the auction timer. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll the die. If I roll a 1, it'll go to player 1. If I roll 2 to 2, 3 to 3. If I roll a 6, I'll just roll again. So player 2 wins the auction. I'll just say they won it at $50,000, which is this amount here. So they're going to pay $50,000 to the bank. And player 2 wins that auction. So now player 2, the blue player, can place a token anywhere in this region here. And they're going to place here to block purple from getting close to this bridge, and also to kind of maybe build into this region here and then up towards where they are over there. They get to increase on any track that they want. So they are tied right now with purple on this track because players 2 and 5 start on the same track. So he's just going to increase his majority so that he gets the payout for that. That card is done. And then what would happen is it would be the next player's turn. Player 2 would draw a card. They would look at it. All right, so player 2 is the blue player. So the blue player can increase his this track, which he's already ahead on. So he could further his lead there, and he could place in any one of these 2 districts. And if he does, he would be able to cross the bridge and get a $40,000 bonus. That sounds pretty good. So he's going to take that card. Then he's going to draw another card, and he gets a timer. When a timer comes up, it moves the pawn 1 spot. And these trigger different events. There's no event here, but there will be on the next one. And then this card is just discarded from the game. He'll draw another card. All right, this is to put influence into the Americas. Right now, orange is the only person up there. And if you do that, you can increase on any track you want. He is going to put that one up for auction. And then the one that goes in the trash is, well, gets another timer. This is going to increase, and now we are at the sailboat. And in the rules, it has a list of what all the different symbols mean. So the sailboat here says ship. Ship brings goods from the colonies. Each player may move one of his tokens on the commodity market one space forward, or may place one of his tokens on the starting space of a track where he has no tokens. All right, so we'll start with a start player with his blue and go around. So blue can increase this one or add, and blue's going to actually jump in on, let's see, he knows that this market's going to get some competition soon, but he doesn't know what commodity. Oh yeah, no, he doesn't know what commodity. So does he want to jump in on there? Does he want to, he could take second place for sure here. He's just going to go ahead and he's going to go on the goods track here, number 2. Then the green player gets to either add to one of the tracks or increase his current level. He's going to pull ahead into first there. Then orange. Orange is already in first. You can't have more than one token on a track. He's going to add into a track. He's going to jump into second place down here. Purple is going to, he could either increase here, but he's going to join in orange there. And then yellow is going to, yellow's just going to move ahead and get further ahead in the lead there. All right, so that is that card that's removed. Then you draw another card, and this is, all right, so this card allows whoever gets this card, they can move on this track 3 times. On any tracks that they want. You just cannot move on the same track 3 times, but you could move 2 times. So blue could go like 1, 2, and then move 1 there, or 1, 2, and then add a token here. Or he could add 1, 2 a second token and move 1 spot there, or add a token here and then move it up 1. But this is the trash one, so no one's going to get that. So that goes in the trash. Player blue gets to do this action, so he's going to add a token here. Now he has in 2 areas, and he gets the $40,000 bonus. So these are $10,000, these are 20, so I'll do 20, 40,000. He'll get $40,000. He gets to increase on this track here as designated by that. He increases there. That's done. And this card goes up for auction. And again, I'll just roll, and whoever wins will pay $50,000. And player 2, which is blue. Blue pays $50,000. And he will jump into a tie with green on that track. He gets, or actually he can't pick which track yet. First he has to pick which region. So what does he want to get on? If he wants to go up on that track, he would have to take over this commodity. So he'll do that. Now he can go up on that track because he chose that commodity. This is removed. And then it just goes to the next player. Next would be green. They would choose 3 cards. So again, he would look at this and decide, maybe he goes, I'm going to throw this one away. He'll look at this. Maybe he, I don't know, he's going to put that one up for auction. He'll look at this. And so he has to take that one. And so you keep doing this. And so this will move around the track whenever the sand clocks come up that you saw earlier. I don't know where I put them. And then eventually this will move around the board. And then once it gets to this spot here, that ends the game. And then you go to final scoring where every region is scored one more time. So looking at scoring right now, if I were to score this region, these are the furthest ones ahead, and these 2 are tied. All right, so what breaks the tie is the value of the track. 3 is a higher value than 4, so 3 would score first. So therefore, blue would get the payout. So for this track, on this example, first place on the highest track gets $100,000. Second place gets $60,000. So this person would get $100,000. This person would get $60,000. Then this track would be second place. Second place plays out $80,000 to whoever's in first, $40,000 to whoever's in second. So 80, 40. This track is in third place. They're tied for first. So what would happen is you take 60 plus 40, which is 100,000, divided by 2, 50,000 apiece. Each one of these people get 50,000. And then this last place track here where they're tied, you would just do the same. 40 plus 20 is 60, divided in half, each player would get 30,000. If it happened to be something like this, where it's tied for second, and this was the first track, so first track would get 100,000, then the 60,000 would be divided in half, and each of these players would get 30. That's if there's a tie on the second player track. And so you keep doing that, keep doing auctions until you get to the end of the game, and that is pretty much how the game works. Majorities here right now. Green is the only player here. He would get the majority scoring there, and it would work the same. This is the global one. Whichever one has the most tokens. So this has 1 token. This has 2 tokens. This has 2 tokens, and this has 1 token. So these 2 regions both have 2 tokens. This is region number 1. This would score first, meaning 100,000 to the first player, 60,000 to the second player. This would score second, meaning 80,000 to first, 40,000 to second, so on and so forth. And then the districts score whichever district has the most in it. So this district has 3 tokens in it. This has 2, this is 1, this has 2. This would score first because it has 3 tokens in it. Then you break ties. This is region 1 versus region 3. Region 1 would take second place. Region 3 would take third place. Region 2 would take fourth place. Payouts are the same. Person in first gets the higher amount, second gets the lower amount, so on and so forth. How do you determine majorities? It's based on your largest cluster. All right, so here they both have 2 in here, but yellow has a cluster of 2, so yellow has more than blue because his are not adjacent to each other. And this wouldn't count. This would be 1 here. The bridge you don't link to the bridge. That's a whole other region. You just get that 40,000 bonus for that. And that's pretty much how it works overall. So hope that's helpful. One last thing that I forgot to mention are these loans. If you ever need to take out a loan, you take one of these tokens and you get $120,000 for it. But at the end of the game, you have to pay back $200,000 for each loan that you take. So you get 120, you pay back 200.